Hello, this is the first in a series of several videos to show you how to make tables in HTML and how to style them in CSS. We're going to begin with a very simple table and then we're going to start from there. What I'd like you to do is I'd like you to have the folder called table that I've given to you be on your desktop. If you open that up, you might notice that there's a couple files inside. One of them is called table.html. Another is a small picture of Chicago. We're going to get to those later, but I'd like you to use this folder as a location where we're going to create some test files before we get into the bigger file. So why don't you go ahead and open up whatever program you use to edit HTML. I use Komodo Edit. You can use that, or you could use Notepad++. If you're using either one, make sure that you're set to make HTML5 files. And why don't we begin by just creating a very simple file. Again, you should know how to do this by now, but go to doctype HTML, then do an HTML with the language equals English. And then we're going to do the head. And why don't we just skip the title for right now, and then we're going to do a body. There we go. All right, so if you need to pause the video to do anything, or if you just want to watch the video and do everything later, you can do that too. But I just wanted to show you how to begin with a very basic file and then create a table from nothing. So a table essentially has three basic elements in it. One of them is the table element, and we'll have that right here. Then there's the table row element, and inside the table row we'll have the table data element. Now let me zoom out here so we can get a better look at this. There we go. And so the table data, this one right here, that essentially is a cell, which is in a row. The table, the TR right here, this is a row of a table. And then, of course, this one right here, the whole table, that's the entire table. So right now I just have a very simple table. It's a table with one row and one cell. Very, very boring. As a matter of fact, if I were to show it, it would just appear to be nothing at all because we haven't given it a border. Let's just give it an old style border since we haven't learned the CSS for that yet. And let's say border equals 1. This is one of many different attributes that used to be used with the table, but has now been replaced with CSS. Now, if I don't put anything in it, it's going to be very uninteresting indeed. But let's just start with this. And I'm going to save this. And I'm going to give it the name, let's say, test01. And make sure it's in the table folder on the desktop. So I'm going to put it there. And then I'm going to go into the table folder, and there it is indeed. I'm going to put it into a browser window. And there's the table, right there. That's the table. Is empty. Therefore, all we're seeing is a border around a very tiny area indeed. So if we want to really see anything, we have to put something into the table cell. So I'm just going to say information. If we say that, save that, and then go to the browser and reload, you'll see now we have the table cell. It doesn't look like much because it's only one cell, and it only fits the size of the information that you put in it unless you give it a size. So I'm going to do what I like to call cheating, and I'm going to give us more cells in this row. Now when you create more cells, they always appear left to right. They're in line with each other. So actually, by creating more table cells, or TDs, you are creating more columns. So I'm going to copy this thing that I've just selected, and I'm going to paste, paste, paste. So we're going to have 3 columns. If I save this now, and we go over to here, and I reload, then you can see I've got 3 columns. Just one row, but 3 columns. Once again, if you want to do this after I'm finished, go ahead. and just watch this video and then do this later. Or if you'd like to try this as I'm saying it, you can pause the video. I'm not going to repeat that again, just want to let you know. So I'm going to move through this now, and now I'm going to cheat again, and I'm going to select this table row, and I'm going to copy that and paste, paste, paste. So now I have 3 table rows. By doing that copying and pasting, I'm saving a lot of time, as you can see. And here we have our table. Starts with a table here, ends down here. We've got 1 table row here, another table row here, and another table row there. Inside each table row, we've got 1, 2, and 3 cells. That would make for 3 columns. So I'm going to save that. I'm going to reload, and here's our table right there. So you can see it's looking much more like a table now. Now you might ask, well, what if I only put 2 rows? I'm sorry. What if I only put 2 TDs in one of the rows? So I just erased one of the TDs from this second row. So this first table row has 3 TDs. The last table row has 3 TDs, but the middle table row only has 2. Well, what's going to happen is that the third table cell, or the third column in the second row, is going to appear empty. So let me reload that, and there we can see that disappeared. So it always starts from the left and fills up from there. If you don't have as many table cells and you don't do anything else about it, then it just goes blank on the right side. So that's very simply how to make a table. Try to keep this information for the next video. I'm going to start from here in video number 2, but that essentially is how to make your basic table. Once again, using the table element, the table row element, and the table data element. Now we've put border equals 1 just so it'll appear, but a little bit later on we're going to get into styling tables. Alright, so that's the end of video number 1. After you've practiced this, go on and do video number 2.